Let's do a close reading of The Ruined Maid. We've already discussed what ruined means, but let's try and hold that meaning at bay and try to see what we can squeeze from the poem itself. Oh, Amelia, my dear, this does everything crown. As opposed to this crowns everything. In poetry land, diction sometimes is awkward or abnormal, and you know why. It's because they're going for this rhyme scheme. So that's on purpose. So there's a kind of artifice, an artificiality here that you wouldn't even see, even though Browning's poem has those couplets. You won't see that in Browning because he's trying to make the rhyme seamless. Here, it is simply not the case. Hardy wants you to feel the pounding of that rhyme, and right away from that first line, you can see this does everything crown. This beats everything. Who would have thought I would come and see you in town? So the speakers from the country. She's coming to town. It's a big deal. And wow, you're dressed so nicely, and such prosperity. Oh, don't you know I'd been ruined, said she. Here again for the rhyme, but what is that accent? I'm not good enough with my English accents, and I can't tell. But if someone out there knows, there is a joke here, I'm sure, that's being played. But such prosperity. Oh, didn't you know I'd been ruined? Said she. There is a kind of, for me, there's a silly, jokey, punchline type way that these stanzas are put together. Let's see if it continues. The girl from the country speaks again. You left us in tatters, torn up. You had like torn up clothes. You didn't have shoes or socks. I mean, in the country, it's poor. It's tired of digging potatoes and spudding up docks. You were sick and tired of being poor, basically. And now look at you. You've got amazing bracelets and 3 bright feathers. Again, look at the awkward wording. Bright feathers 3, not 3 bright feathers. You know it's going to be this she again. It's going to get picked up. Yeah, that's how we dress when we're ruined, said she. You need that, said she. I mean, if you weren't paying the rhyme scheme any heed, you don't need that, said she, but there it is. Now, why does she keep talking about being ruined? Before you were poor, now you're rich, and she just keeps coming back with ruin, this phrase. At home in the Barton, you said thee and thou, and thickoon and thea soon, and t'other. But now you're talking quite fits-y for high company. There's a lot here about accents. Wyndham Lewis said the working class had their identity seared into their tongue. Accents and speaking properly in this country it's absolutely amazing to me how important, how much of a big deal it is. And this stanza is all about the way that this person has changed the way they've talked. And there used to be a kind of country bumpkin way, but now she's polished everything up. But when you ruin yourself, you do get some gains. You get to polish yourself up, and polish is what she's done. She's polished her accent. She's flattened it out. She's gotten rid of, if we think about our schools, like getting rid of the street, or I don't know. Some people can talk posh if they need to. Your hands were like paws. I mean, you were an animal. And your face was blue and bleak like something scary, empty, sickly. But now when I look at you, I'm actually bewitched by your delicate cheek. She's beautiful. But not only is she beautiful, her looks have some ability to charm. And that might lead us to some suspicion of what it is that she does. And your little gloves fit as any lady. I don't know how her paw-like hands got little, but there must be something about hand size and working here that's being commented on. I think when you work in the fields or work, your body gets harmed. It's not just six-packs and this kind of fantasy that we have of the worker's body, but actually there's a kind of there's an animal-like thing that could happen. And clearly the speaker here, the country girl, is saying, well, you were so poor, but now you're so beautiful and you're dainty and your little gloves and you don't have paws anymore. Well, look, we never do work when we're ruined, said she. Do they never work? I don't know. What kind of work is she doing now? She is ruined, that's, of course. You used to call home life a hag-ridden dream, and you'd sigh and you'd sock, but at present you seem to know not the megrims of melancholy. So you used to be sad. You hated home. Now you seem so happy. That's true. One's pretty lively when ruined. Ruined makes you happy, rich. Your body is in good shape. Sounds good to me. Sign me up. Wish I had feathers and a fine sweeping gown and a delicate face and could strut about town, because that's what Amelia's doing. She's strutting. People are looking. And this country bumpkin really wants it. And now we get 2 lines from Amelia, not the one. And maybe this is the real punchline. My dear, a raw country girl. That's what she is. Raw country girl. You can't have all those things. Unless you're ruined. Really interesting word here is you ain't. That slang. She slips. Oops, I guess you're not on here. Here, I'm just saying, unless ruined. You ain't ruined. That's slang. She slips back to her old speech for just a second. Now, again, I posed the question I said in the previous one, little section. What is Hardy saying? Is Hardy making fun of this woman? Or is Hardy making fun of this world where people have to be poor, and the way that they stop being poor is that they sell their body? Or is he saying that ruined is not the right word we should use? We should change the language that we use for sexuality or sex or people who work in the sex industry or people who are mistresses or marry for money or any of those things. We should change the words we use. I think this is a deceptively simple and on the surface silly poem, but the questions it brings up are enough that we could have a sustained conversation about class at very least, but also images of what a woman should be. And I look forward to hearing